either. But
well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like when they get permission and all that. They probably did.
Yes.
Not that YouTube would care, but we can't play them here anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What is making noise?
You hear something in your background?
My little inkjet printer is churning. I wonder what it's churning. What's it churning about? What are you churning?
Important documents coming out of there. You got like a legal document firing off there with the deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here goes, everyone. Thanks for being here, those who are live, and we appreciate having you. Here we go. Count it down in 3, 2, 1.
This is a serious message to everybody watching my update right now. Peace and love. Peace and love.
I absolutely hate that segment.
This is the morning stream. I'll swallow your soul.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian. Hi, Brian.
Yes. Hello, Scott. Hello, everybody. And thank you all again for the birthday wishes yesterday via Facebook, Threads, Insta, Twitter, X, whatever the hell it's called now. Discord.
X. Did your mother lunch go well? Mother lunch?
Motherlunch.
Yeah.
It did. We did not do the Hawaiian place. There's a new pizza and tap house that opened up relatively, like, almost across the street from her. And
that's cool.
We decided, let's go there. And it was good. I had a meatball sub, and I shouldn't have had a meatball sub, but it was really good.
That sounds lovely.
You know what? Yesterday I should not feel bad about eating bad.
No, it's your birthday. You're supposed to be a little bit, throw caution to the wind, don't you think?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Create a little wind.
Today I'll
later.
make up for it. I'll make up for it today. I'll go for a walk.
Yeah.
Might even ride the bike. It's supposed to be cooler today. It's only 71 right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go right now. I'll see you later.
I think we're getting a high like 65 because of this rain. This monsoon rain.
I love this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I like it too. I feel bad for all the people getting flooded though, because that's not good. We don't like it when it hits all at once. In fact, somebody said on our local weather channel or news weather guy said that yesterday more rainfall in yesterday's storm than a typical entire summer for the Utah Wasatch Front.
In just one storm.
One storm. Yeah. It was bad. It was a big one. Like if anyone out there listening in Kearns, maybe you aren't because you're swimming today, but there was like huge flooding, like streets 3 feet high of water, people trying to drive in. It was awful. It was really bad. But I live up high, and so I'm taking all this for granted. Okay, that's how it's working for me.
Right.
We got a show to do. We got Wendi coming up later. She's bringing a mystery topic. I have no idea what that means.
Okay. That means it's about one of us, isn't it? That's what it means.
That probably, so that we can't argue out of it before she's on. We kind of have to just groove on it when she gets here. But this is how she said it. I said yesterday, hey, you got any topics brewing? And she says, I've got an idea for a series. I said, okay. I'm nervous, but she's just going to spring it on us. I don't know.
Good. Yeah. No, that's great. So like a continuation. I totally dig that.
Yeah. It's like
maybe reminded me that I was going to ask, how does she refer to John?
Same. Just John. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nobody calls him dad or stepdad.
Grandpa, the kids don't call him grandpa or anything.
The kids, some of them do. Not all of them, though. Like, it depends on their age. The ones that are older, they all call him John because I think they just are in the same boat. The younger kids all call him Grandpa. I don't know if that will change. Also, he's 92, so I don't know how much time change there is. He could live to 120. I don't know. I don't know how long he's going to be.
Sure.
He absolutely could, but he's well. You know what? I will. Let's confirm this with her today because I don't want to speak out of turn. It's possible that when I'm not around, she refers to him as something else, but I would like to get maybe this will be a little subtopic. Should we be calling him stepfather or stepdad, even though we had no raising of time with the guy? I
think it's a good step topic. It's a good topic. The question is, how do you call him You don't call him dad.
No.
Like even if she says, "Yeah, we should probably call him dad," you don't. And stepdad you don't. Nobody calls their stepdad, "Hey, stepdad, how you doing?"
Nobody does that.
It's really just in the way you introduce him to people. But
and even if you're really close to your stepdad, let's say you're just like the guy means the world to you, he's better than your real dad. He's just an amazing guy, and boy, are you glad you entered your life. You still don't say, "Well, good evening, stepdad. It's good to see you, stepfather." No one says that. Nobody.
Right. No, my nieces, basically my Uncle George's daughters, and yes, I call them my nieces, even though they're cousins, because long story, but George and I we grew up kind of like brothers. We were close in age. We did everything that, brothers do, mostly fighting, really, is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But anyway, they all, like two of them are not his biological daughters. And they were, 10 and 8, I think, when he married their mother, but they absolutely refer to him as dad. He did adopt them. I mean, there is a lot of differences there.
Yeah.
Many differences.
Sure. I think that makes the difference. And if you can get to that, that's awesome.
He did raise them, so that is the big difference.
Yeah, and like a full adoption, like all those things count toward just calling him dad. He's the only dad you ever really knew, that kind of thing, sort of. But in his case, I don't know. And we're gonna ask Wendi. We'll see what she says, because maybe I'm the weirdo. I don't know. But when every time I've heard her talk about him, it's always just John, Mom, and John.
And I think that is I think you hit the nail on the head. It's how you raise, or how you were raised, if you were raised by them or not.
You know what would help, Brian, if he was a little less cranky and angry all the time.
Would it though? I mean, I don't see if he was nicer. I still don't see you calling him dad because he didn't raise you.
I probably wouldn't, but I would at least be more warm to the idea.
Oh, and this is my stepdad, John.
I might be.
Him to other people as your stepdad.
Yeah, he had a thing happen at the cabin that still just drove everybody crazy. And this is just his personality. But my mom gets these knee injections because her knee joints are all effed. I mean, she's 85. It's what you get when you're older.
Yeah.
And one of the side effects is once in a while, her knee will just, for no reason, will just give out. Like she'll go to step on it and it'll just kind of fold and she's
just give way.
Yeah. So it's hard and you kind of want to be around her in case that happens, that sort of thing. So she biffed it like that at the thing. Didn't get hurt, but, a little bit of a tumble. And everybody, rushed to help her or whatever. And while we're helping her up, John goes, he was talking to one of the cousins who's single still, or something, and he goes, I got some advice. Don't marry somebody you got to carry around with you all the time, or something like that. Some kind of comment like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're such a freaking dick.
He's joking, though. I mean, he's definitely not.
Oh, I'm obviously joking, but he's just an ass. Yeah. Like, he's in the middle. My mom's on the ground, and he's over there going, don't marry.
Yeah, maybe help her up and then make your little snide joke, John. Yeah.
Everybody was mad at him. Like all my daughter was so fired up. I'm like, hey, you gotta hold it in.
That's a really good point.
Gotta hold it in. Anyway, he's kind of a turd. So let's do this. Last night sucked. All right, now I went to bed relatively on time. I was thinking, lots of rest. I'm gonna feel great in the morning and nice and spry and whatever for this show and the rest of my day. I got a lot to do, and I thought this would be no problem. Plus, the temperatures dropped. The AC's not running incessantly. It was nice.
Sure.
So I go to bed. Everything's great. 3:15 in the morning. I hear a sound. And at first I think, is it my computer's downstairs? Is it like a UPS? Did something go off? It's not a beep, 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 but like more like a boop, boop, like that. Really?
So, okay, like still an alternating.
Yes, but not regularly alternating. That's what the weird thing about it. It was kind of uneven.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got up, walking around. Kim gets up. We're both walking around trying to find out where this is coming from. Turns out it's not coming from us at all. It's coming from outside somewhere. So we opened the window.
Coming from outside the house.
It was on the outside the whole time. Ah! So we open up the window, and sure enough, over in the adjacent townhomes that face the main road and the lake over there, it's something there. And the one I think it's coming from, their kitchen light is also on. So I'm thinking, well, maybe they're up trying to deal with something or something went off and they're trying to fix it. Wasn't sure, never saw a shadow or a person walking around, just the sound. So I actually recorded it. I'm going to play it here on the show.
Good. All right, cool.
So here it is, and we'll together see if we can suss this out, what we think it is, because I still, to this moment, don't know. I got on Nextdoor. Other people were hearing it. Nobody knew what it was. I didn't walk out there. But it was, I thought maybe one of Tesla's cars was going to explode or something. I didn't know. I don't know what was going on. So here's the sound, Brian. You help me suss this out here, okay? Hopefully you can hear this well. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah. A little longer that time. Here's a short one. Another short one. And it was just over and over like that. Over and over and over.
God, if it were a little bit more of a whine, I would say it's like a 3D printer, like basically as it's like, moving over an area, and then like it does a longer stripe and then like lays down, then moves to another space and then draws. But it's like that's a tone. That is not a.
Yeah.
That is not. It doesn't feel like an engine whine.
That's funny you say that though, because I told Kim, I go, it almost sounds like a horrible version of a dot matrix printer from the 90s. Dot matrix,
right? Yeah, like.
Yeah, like it's printing, and the unevenness of it kind of contributed to that. But you're right; it's more of a tone or like a.
It's a tone, yeah.
And it went on for like an hour, and it was just enough to be distracting. Like it's quiet, but enough for me to just not be able to sleep. So I turn on brown noise, and it's not quite enough to fix it. So I crank that up a little bit, and by the time we're done, it's kind of going. And we finally are covering the sound of it. This morning, the sound's all gone. There's nothing out there. No update as to what happened. So I have zero idea what this is, what to blame it on.
No. Yeah.
It's really funky, And I was tired as hell. And I didn't get back to sleep till like 5:30. It sucked. Yeah. 3:15 to 5:30,
yeah, that sucks. I know. Believe me, I know what that's like, Scott.
Yeah. Recently even.
Very recently. Yeah, that's really weird because it sounds so clear. I can tell that it was loud for you. Like it was,
Yeah. I turned that up a little bit. In post, I cranked it a bit, but not much. Like that's basically as loud as it was if I held my phone out the door. Yeah, it was dumb. And it made us like anxious partly because we were like, well, is there something else in the house going? Like after all this water shit, I'm just paranoid, Yeah. It's like, is something else going to get? Is that a pipe? Like, what is that? A pipe? Maybe it's a pipe. Ah! So we're freaking out.
Yeah. Right. Like, is this what leaks sound like?
Yep. And the one thing I'm shocked about is it was the kind of tone that should have sent Raynor howling, but she never did.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. What do you think it was? Do you think she was just dead tired, or do you think
she has
was like a frequency that?
I think it's a combination. Probably not the right frequency, but also. To her ears anyway, but also I think that she is tired. She was this trip where she was in the kennel or at the dog sitters for 4 days, 5 days. They always wrecks her. She's just such a mess when she gets back, and she just was.
So this is the least of her worries right now. Is that tone? After. Yeah,
she's just happy to be in her bed. Anyway, I don't know what it was. Somebody out there write in. Have you heard this sound before? We got any experts out there? Also, real quick, people are confused about brown noise, if it's even a real thing. It's a real thing. There is brown noise, white noise, pink noise, green noise. These are all things.
Yeah, they're all just different levels of.
Yeah. Yeah. I like brown the best because it's kind of a bassy thing. It just is a warmer tone. I don't like white. White noise.
I asked myself, what could brown do for me, and I tried it, and brown does nothing for me.
No, brown doesn't do anything for you. Actually, brown lately, UPS, those people. They've been doing a lot of wrong things for me. Mixed up packages, wrong door, munched up boxes.
Brown, I drank too much coffee in one drink. And too much in one. Yeah.
Went down the wrong down the wrong hole.
Exactly. I thought there was less coffee in there, so I tipped it up higher and. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
I've done that. It's all good. Yeah. I had a weird out of nowhere sore throat yesterday too. I think it was because of the rain. Sometimes that'll happen to me. I just get like maybe a little swollen here and get a little throaty. And now this morning it's only on the left side. I don't think I'm sick. I feel fine otherwise. Just have this sore throat, man.
Weird. Yeah.
Effed.
Yeah, it could just be the particulates in the air. We're still getting air quality warnings. I don't know if it's the Calgary, if it's the Canadian wildfires or what the.
Yeah, do you have your own yet? Because it's always a fun part of summer when we get our own fires.
Do you have your own wildfires? Have we gotten any of our own? We've gotten a couple. Devil's Thumb is currently on fire, but the rain has helped so much.
Devil's Thumb is a rad name.
Thumb, isn't that awesome? Yeah.
I want that here. Can we do a Devil's Thumb?
Do you want to share Devil's Thumb?
Yeah. I love that name. That's so good.
Yeah, the Devil's Thumb.
Where is that? Like a canyon or something?
Yeah, it's between our two states. Well, I mean, it's technically in our state, but it's between Denver and Salt Lake in the Rocky Mountains.
Oh, right there in the middle, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't travel that way.
We would meet there for sushi, but
Green River Sushi. That honestly, before we die, we got to do that once.
Yeah, and maybe not Green River. I mean, what about?
How about Moab? Moab's nice. And that's right.
You know
in the
what's
center.
funny? Somebody was actually suggesting. Who is it that we were just talking to that said you should do your sushi thing in Moab?
Yeah.
Because it's closer to the halfway point, and they were who the heck was it? We were just talking to them about.
I think it's dead center in the halfway point. I think
so. Plus, I could take my. I'm not really good with the mountain bike. I'm more of a road bike guy, and you can't really do a road bike in Moab.
No, they have some stuff there, but you're right. It's very focused on like off-road.
Well, I'll tell you something that I've been considering.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
just considering this.
Oh shit! Here we go. What do we got?
But I'm thinking about a massive road trip, solo road trip.
Yeah.
Starting in Colorado, I'd go west to like Vegas, Los Angeles, up north to San Francisco, down to Salt Lake City,
in a car, right?
east.
Not a bike. In a car.
In the Kia Soul of Love.
Okay.
Would be the thing.
Yeah.
And try and do meetups. Basically, try and do a meetup in a different town every night. So, I drive to Vegas, do a meetup in Vegas that night. Then drive to Los Angeles, do a meetup in Los Angeles. Then drive up north to San Francisco, do a meetup in San Francisco. Meet with you in Salt Lake City, do a meetup there.
Yeah, we'll have a big blowout up here. That'd be fun.
And then continue east. I'd love to do someplace in Ohio. I'd love to do someplace near Cedar Point because I've never been to Cedar Point, and I want to go on some effing roller coasters and scramble my brain.
Right.
Texas would be totally would do Austin or Austin.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to go as far south as Houston.
Yeah. Don't go to Houston.
But, I want to figure out like a good like 9-day, 10-day. I don't know. Here's the other thing. I don't want to necessarily make money from this, but I do want to figure out a way to make enough to cover hotel and food and gas.
Sure.
If I can do that, because I won't be able to lift those days. I'll be able to podcast because we'll do the show live every morning.
Sure. We'll just
from
do it
whatever
from wherever
hotel
you are.
I'm in.
Yeah. We totally do that. That sounds
anyway,
like fun.
I'm
Was it you
considering-
just leave Tina and go, or did she go with you?
Oh God, no. Yeah, leave Tina. Jeez.
Yeah, that's it, Tina. Sorry. You're home. You're staying home.
Is that the Tina game over?
Yeah, it's the game over for anything where it's like, oh, wah. I love that one.
Thinking
that's a great
October
idea.
When things start cooling off a little bit,
Yeah.
and maybe do a 2-week deal and try and do a film sack from the road, do TMS every morning, maybe even I could even like audio live stream as I'm driving. Chat with people wherever I have signal.
Yeah, you could do. You could almost do. You could do video for most. I mean, 5G coverage is pretty good now in most of the areas you're talking about.
Yeah.
Basically,
Amish
from here,
Overlord. It's not a. It's I can't. It's a Lyft won't let me lift in other cities unless I have a valid driver's license in that city.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, it would be great if I could just go to Vegas for a week and drive for Lyft in Vegas, but I need to have a Nevada driver's license to actually get away with that.
I love this idea.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great.
So
how would you
maybe
monetizing? It's tricky. You'd have to set up some kind of something.
It would have to be like a Patreon or a GoFundMe or something like that. But like Chicago would absolutely have to be on the list.
Chicago's great. It's
big
big shoulders.
Just figure out like mapping it all out, finding out how many people we can get to each location, and then maybe an admission, but just like if I'm coming to your town and you want to come to the meetup, $10 or something like that. Hang out with Brian for $10.
$10. That's cheaper than the Star Trek cast. If you want to get signatures
Right,
from them.
exactly. I'll pose for photos. I'll sign out, but more importantly, we'll hang out and play. Find a pinball pub or a video game like arcade or something for each meetup.
Yeah, no, this is cool. I like this idea a lot.
Yeah, Wisconsin. Come on, Schmitty. If you're in Wisconsin, you can make it down to Chicago. Tina and I drove from Milwaukee to Chicago. It took us 2 hours, and it's totally fine.
Yeah, we did that when I went to Chicago. We drove to Wisconsin to see a Brewers game.
Yeah,
and it wasn't hardly anything. That was an easy drive. That's the thing about the East. Well, some Midwest, but also East Coast. In through the Midwest is everything's kind of small. Like, I don't mean small in a negative way. I mean, like, when I went to Columbus, I was shocked how nothing was far from anything. It's just, out here we're so sprawled. Even just my airport, which I think is relatively close, is not compared to like Ohio. and if I wanted to go to Cleveland, I used to think, going from Columbus to Cleveland, that's probably a day, like 10 hours. No, it's like an hour and a half west or east or whatever. It's like nothing.
He's super quick.
Well, more on that as we get closer, folks. We got to.
I'll fire up something in the meetup forum.
Oh yeah,
and just call it the speculative Brian. What do we call it? The possible Brian multi-city road trip.
Sure. And you'll have all your playlists, because you'll be be on the road again, like old Willie Nelson would say. Yeah. You'd be traveling.
That's the other thing. It's like, oh God, I'd love to take my bike and ride in every city, but I don't know. Do I have time?
You should do this. You should buy fruit in Nevada, and then you have to declare the fruit before you enter California. Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Why is that fun?
Because then you can get some content. You record the guy going, all right, let's see those oranges or whatever you got, and you got to deal with it.
I just have a whole bunch of grapes, and I have them scattered throughout the car. And basically, okay, I've got a grape here in the cup holder. I've got a grape in the the glove compartment. Oh, there's a grape on the desktop the dashboard.
The desktop of your car.
It would be my desktop.
Yeah, it's kind of that way in my brother-in-law's new Tesla. It looks like a freaking desktop. Well, that's great. Check this out. We got a call from Kentucky. Speaking of other parts of the country.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that would be a place.
Yeah, this is Nate. He wrote in about he wanted to play a little game of what's worse, and it's very prescient. What's worse? This is very much a thing of our time right this very minute. So here we go. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Scott and Brian. This is Nate from Kentucky calling. I was listening to TMS 2488, and Scott was mentioning about the gigantic water problem that he's having in the very expensive bill that he's looking down the barrel of. Well, I have a question for you. Is it worse to be without water or without air conditioning? Because about a year ago, almost to the date, we lost our AC unit in our house here in Kentucky and went for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks without air conditioning. It was about a $4,000 to get a new condenser put in and the Freon and everything, which the Freon was the most expensive part. And then on top of that, to try to keep me and my wife cool to some degree, I went out and bought a portable air conditioner that was about $300. So, which is worse, no water or no AC? Hope you all are doing great and keep up the great work. Bye.
Okay, Nate, I would say for me it's easy. No AC for 2 weeks. Sounds bad, but I will take that. Even in a humid, hot place like Kentucky in the middle of summer, I would take that over no running water for the same amount of period of time. And also, it cost me more to do my thing than what he just described his total cost as, even including the extra thing he bought. So he's out, $4,000 or whatever it was. I'm out 5.8 or almost 6, plus the bill I got to pay for the 65,000 gallons of water we plunged into the earth. So I still would take. I would take no power, or sorry, I would take no AC over no water.
AC. I'm 100% with you because you can kind of make a little jerry-rigged with a fan and a little mister and running water. You can make a little spray cool off thing that you can stand in front of to keep cool without AC.
Absolutely.
You can't. I mean, unless you really up your condensation game, you can't generate water from AC.
Yeah, and the real hellscape here is anyone who has to do these two things at the same time. If you're both your power, your water and your AC's out, oh my gosh, I would just die. I would die.
Yeah.
Imagine taking just the worst sweaty poo of your life. You have no way to flush it down. You just want to die. It'd be a terrible, terrible deal. Now, look, I know that, for centuries, thousands of years, man has subsisted on far less. Okay? I know that. Mm-hmm. But we are a society now. We have established a new norm moving forward, and we must live within the constraints of that norm.
Nobody is fondly looking back at those times when to clean your clothes, you had to rub them against corrugated metal.
Yeah.
And dry them by rolling them through a wringer. And nobody's looking back and saying, those were really better.
No, there's no way. If they are, they're crazy. Like we made women wear dresses up to their neck and to their ankles in the middle of the worst weather ever without any of these modern conveniences. Yeah. Nobody wants to go back to that.
Nobody wants to go back. Well, some conservatives do.
Some people think they do. They think
save
they
your
do.
emails, people.
Yeah, save your emails for Brian, not for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's that. Let's. We got some news today. You want to do some news?
Okay. Yeah.
I feel pretty good about this. Let's do it.
Watch the news.
We got some news here, and it's brought to you by
Coverville. A bizarre combination today. Buckle up for this whiplash. Robert Cray, the blues. Flock of Seagulls, new wave. And Rush, rock and roll. What? How is this possible? Guess what? When you got covers, you can kind of put them all in similar genres. That's how it works. Birthdays for Robert Cray, Geddy Lee, and Ali Score. Ali Score? Mike Score. I'm trying to remember which one is having the birthday. The two brothers that were the head of Flock of Seagulls.
The two main
one of them
seagulls.
had the Wolverine hairdo, and I think that was Ali Score.
There are two seagulls in charge. All the other seagulls.
Yes, the head seagulls.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Anyway, birthdays for all three of them. Covers of all three of them. Big show. Fun show. Babble's a sponsor. Let's get to it. 1 p.m. Mountain Time, twitch.tv/Coverville.
Excellent. That sounds like a fine lineup.
Yes.
So
and some Marvel Snap with my favorite deck right now, which is the Living Tribunal, because you play them at the very end, and your opponent thinks that they're winning, and you put down a whole bunch of power in one zone, and your competitor's like, well, I'll just put some stuff in these other two zones because I could beat you there. And Living Tribunal says, geez Louise, what's it selling? Says, I'm going to take your total power and split it across all three zones.
It's pretty good.
It is. Yeah, Red Fraggle. No, I don't want to go against you because I just told you what my deck does. So throw a rogue in there or enchantress and I'm done. No.
Let's do it we'll do it like a court. We tell the jury to disregard the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, please strike from the record everything I just told you.
You can't use this in your deliberations, Red Fraggle. You have to play some crappy deck.
I might consider doing another deck that I've been experimenting with, but it is such in its infancy.
Well, great. Check that out.
Anyway, so there you go. Coverville, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, twitch.tv.
Here's the deal. So, real quick, I need to call out some chuckleheads in our community. All right.
Okay.
I have a complaint.
Play the complaint music. You haven't played that in a while.
It has been a while. Where is it? Did I get rid of it? Hold on.
Diarrhea.
That's not it. How about this one?
Honk.
Nope. That's not it. Nope. Okay, we'll give him that. That's fine.
All right, that's good.
That'll count. So I've been playing that Monopoly Go business, it's fun and everything. But gosh dang it, could you all slow down? You know how many times I've rebuilt France, and I'm not spending a dime on this effing game.
No.
Every time I log
initially,
in,
I spent some money initially, but I was stuck in the hospital with Tina, and I was like, I'm $1.99.
Worth it. That's you know what?
God, I'm shaking. I need some more dice. Can you give me some more dice? Are you holding?
It's the cheapest thing you'll spend in a hospital, so do it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it really is.
But it was every time I go in there, it's all banged up, and I have to rebuild everything, and I'm never going to have enough money. So last night I was like, I got a bunch of extra dice for just hitting some milestones. I'll just be fine. I'll get enough money here. I had $1 million, and it wasn't enough to get me done in France. and I'm not buying more. This is how that game gets you this way. It's like, oh, you want some more? You want to keep rolling, do you?
Yeah.
F that game, dude.
One more roll and you might win.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
do me a favor. Send me. I think we're friends, aren't we? I
think
game?
so. I
never see your stuff come up when I'm smashing France. So
I don't know how do you do it? You just send a. What do you do?
A friend request. We'll have to figure it out. But let me know what cards you need for your albums, because that's a great way to get a crap ton of dice.
Oh, we didn't warn what's her name. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Stephanie.
I hate that segment.
I absolutely hate that segment.
All right, let's move on. So there's been an accusation in China that needs to be addressed here on TMS.
Okay. Oh no. All right.
There's the Hangzhou Zoo, famous zoo over there. People like that zoo. If you go to China, they have these sun bears. They're called.
Okay.
And people are saying that they're dudes in suits. And there's been photos and weird stuff about it. Yeah,
that's really funny, actually.
It's pretty great. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, this main photo on this link to the BBC. If you'll take a look at that, Brian, you'll see this bear. They say, wait, that's a
dude in a suit.
That's a dude in a bear suit.
Oh, clearly it's a dude in a suit.
It sure seems like it, right?
I mean, it does look like.
Because look at the wrinkly butt and the way the legs are.
The wrinkled butt. It looks like a very poorly fit bear costume.
Yes, but it turns out it's just this bear. Like there's video. So this still image, there's actually video this was taken from, and I don't have it on this link, but this same shot of this bear looking at people and standing there like a dude. Right after that, gets down on all fours again and is no longer looks like a dude at all. It looks like a frickin' bear. There's no.
Yeah, but I mean, you could look at what's his face, the dude who did the mocap work for Gollum, and say, man, he does some amazing work that looks like the way animals would walk, like for his Planet of the Apes stuff.
Oh yeah, or King Kong or any of that.
Yeah, a sun bear is really just a bear you get at Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, that is true. But they have gone on record over there in China to say, yeah, it is. They've reassured visitors. They say that their sun bears are real rather than humans in disguise. After footage of one animal standing like a person sent rumors flying online.
Yeah. Well, the Andy Serkis, thank you. The other photo that's further down the article.
Yeah.
It almost feels like you can look at that and see where the guy's face would have to be so that he could see out of the costume.
Like the little ring around his neck thing right there.
Yeah. But how do they? I'm sure the mouth moves and stuff. The mouth isn't probably just like friggin' Jar Jar Binks, the Jar Jar Binks head on top of Amit, what's his face's head when they were doing the shots of Jar Jar for Phantom Menace.
Yeah, it's definitely got that vibe to it. But I've seen him rolling
here's
around.
How you solve that problem.
Yeah.
You say anyone who would like to Mission Impossible this and hop down into the bear holding area and try and rip the mask off the bear, be our guest.
Yeah.
Help yourself.
Help yourselves. All right, I found the viral video, I believe.
Oh, good. Okay.
Let me see if I can share this with you. Hold on a second. I'll put it in the chat. That way they can all click it if they want, as well as you. So this is
I found that. Okay, good.
This is the bear. And they stand here. Let me pull this back to the beginning. They stand up a lot. It's one of the things they do. It does look. Yeah. It looks a little like there's a dude in there.
It does, but he is. Oh, that's really funny. Like how it's moving its mouth.
It's just us recognizing.
But its mouth does open and close. It's about the only facial.
Yeah, I think this is just how they move around. Okay, here's that. If you go further in the video,
the video. Like now you get the back view.
Yeah, these are bears, dude.
That's definitely a bear when it bends over. Oh, and look at the way it's look at the way its nose and stuff move. I mean, that'd be some great special effects, and it's probably a lot cheaper to get a sun bear.
Yeah. I mean, I get the fun of seeing this and going, "Oh my gosh, there's 3 kids in there or whatever."
Yeah, right,
but
exactly.
It's not. They're just bears. They're weird bears. I'll give them that.
They are, yeah.
Yeah, they're the petitest and smallest. When I
did a search for sun bears and it pulled up a National Geographic site, it said and before it goes and says, "Hey, would you like to pay for National Geographic?" No. It says, "Get to know the smallest member of the bear family," and that's funny. It doesn't look that small in that video. It looks like a regular sized bear.
I think if you compared it, you'd probably have to see a brown next to it or a grizzly or something to see the difference. But they do call it the zoo. When they do the announcement, they make a big deal about it. This is the most petite, smallest bear in the world, they say in Chinese.
Yeah.
In a post written, let's see.
Yeah, clearly a real bear, but I can see there was the initial bit of look at those baggy pants. That's definitely a person in a costume. But when you see it actually move, it's pretty damn.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Non-debatable evidence.
Yeah, they hit all fours, and you're like, yeah, this is a freaking bear. They only get as big, it says here, as big as a large dog. That's cool.
Oh. That seems a lot bigger than a large dog, Scott.
I know, that seems like it might be a person in there. A person.
I don't know how big the rock was that he was standing on, but yeah.
That's the other problem, is we have very bad comparative references around this bear, so you can't really tell how big he is compared to other shit. Anyway, sun bears, they're weird.
Sun bears, they're real.
Back to Trader Joe's. We went there yesterday.
Oh no, poor Trader Joe's.
Yeah,
okay.
We're going there again. Yesterday was
you
rocks.
went there today? Or yesterday, I mean.
No, I wish I did. We just talked about it, remember?
Gotcha. Okay. You went there, meaning we went there in our news.
Yeah, yes. We had the whole rocks and the cookies thing and all that.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, now Trader Joe's unexpected broccoli cheddar soup, that's the name of it.
Yeah.
May contain insects.
And I think that's the insects are the unexpected part.
I think so. Unexpected to say the least. It says Trader Joe's is recalling 10,889,000. No, I'm sorry. 10,889.
10,889,000 and 4,000 and 11,000.
Yeah, these zeros are real confusing. That many cases of this is literally the name of the product, unexpected broccoli cheddar soup, because there may be insects in the frozen broccoli. I agree. Used to make the product, according to the Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA. There have been no health issues reported, but they probably shouldn't be if it's just insects. But anyway.
Yeah.
In a statement, the grocery chain said it was notified of the problem by its supplier, Winter Gardens Quality Foods. You may have to change your name after this.
Winter Gardens Suspect Quality Foods.
Yeah. Unexpectedly not.
Unexpected Quality Foods.
It says the soup was shipped to Trader Joe's stores, California, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Washington. Winter Gardens Quality Foods did not immediately reply to the site's request for discussion anyway. If you purchase the soup, you can return it. They'll give you a refund.
Okay.
But it's got certain amount of insect fragments, and other filth, is how they put it. That presents no health hazard to people, they claim. That's because it is, quote, economically impractical to grow, harvest, or process raw foods that are totally free of non-hazardous, naturally occurring, avoidable defects.
I mean, they're really saying it's insects, insect fragments, and insect shit. Yeah. Basically, is the other filth. They just don't want to come right out and say, may contain insects, parts of insects, and insect shit.
Yeah, little earwigs going poo-poo in your thing.
Yeah,
that's what that is. Yeah. Speaking of earwigs, there were so many in Bear Lake. What the frick is going on up there?
So many here. The season pretty much is over, but for a while there, and here's when I find earwigs that just gross me the hell out.
Okay.
Is I hop in the shower, turn the water on, get in there, start doing shower stuff, and then a freaking earwig falls out of the shower curtain.
Yep.
And I've got no shoe. I've got, I basically have a surprisingly unused shampoo bottle that I can smash it with. But
it's as good as it gets in there. I hate earwigs. Earwigs are gross.
I do too.
Ever since I was a kid, partly because they're called earwigs, which makes me think they're going to crawl in my ear and do that thing that happened to Chekhov in that Star Trek movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that.
Right. Botany Bay.
And that guy had the where the walls fell guy had to shoot himself with a phaser. He was so mind controlled by those things.
That's right. Exactly.
Anyway.
No.
A Japanese man in the news.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really have like the Florida man over there like we do. But
I bet that there's a part of Japan that they consider to be the Florida of Japan.
what do you think it would be? Do we think it's a certain town we'd know, or I guess we'd have to have someone know who's there?
Yeah, like, oh yeah, Hokkaido, man, boy, that is the Florida of Japan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure somebody could tell us. Like, I know we've got some Japanese listeners. Yeah, Osaka's great, Kyoto's terrific, Tokyo, of course, is awesome, but Hokkaido, man, that is the Florida of Japan.
Also, I was thinking, like, every state also has like a city that we all think sucks, So you always bring it up. You don't
Aurora is probably
Aurora.
Well, Colorado Springs, I think, probably takes the cake from Aurora.
Yeah, and that's how it is out here. I would say it's Magna out here. KT Data will have to. I could argue with him about what he thinks, but I think Magna's a dump and the water's bad and everything's bad about living there. But every state, every city, every locale has something. Is it Tucson, Matthew Johnson in Arizona?
Tucson for Arizona.
Huh.
Eternity says Osaka is the Japanese Florida. That's
Really?
interesting. Oh, Bakersfield over Fresno.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
Bakersfield's like meth capital or something, right?
Oh, is it really? Isn't that didn't Shoujo lived there for a while? Didn't she in Bakersfield?
I think so. She ran.
Yeah.
That's where she would get her meth, and then
I was gonna say she ran a meth distributor.
yeah, she did real well in that business. Turns out for a while.
Yeah.
Ogden, Kearns, and Magna are the three to come to mind. Ogden, growing up, you would always hear news stories about Ogden man found naked in the street or whatever. So Ogden's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Shoujo, 11 years, unfortunately. Was it bad, Shoujo? Sarah, was it bad there? Was it like gross and horrible? Is Bakersfield as bad as they make it seem in the fake Bakersfield in GTA 5? I forget what they call it in that, but they have a Bakersfield area in Grand Theft Auto, and it's the worst.
Is it
drug
really?
up. Oh yeah.
I hear Derry is the Florida of Ireland.
Oh, Derry. Yeah. Freaking any girls.
Just waiting to see.
Yeah, waiting for the caps.
Waiting for the text, waiting for the response.
Yeah, look at the caps coming. Hit that key.
I know.
Hit that key.
Oh my gosh, the caps lock key is jammed so hard right now.
Yeah, we got JK
I can
Grammar.
almost hear the keyboard hammering from here. Anyway.
The Wraith, Complex Ninja. Oh, it's starting to build. It's like a boiling pot here. Oh, I don't know when she's gonna pop off.
Oh, I know. Maybe yeah. She shut down her computer. She's
like, I'm on the shitter. I can't respond from here. It's on the computer in the other room. I sent her a video yesterday and she never replied. Very sad about
really?
that. Yeah, it was a video. It wasn't like something weird. It was a video of Sinead O'Connor doing kind of a rap thing about the problems of Ireland. And it was really good. I'd never seen this before. It's when she had hair even. Before she was shaving it or whatever. And she was kind of rapping.
yeah.
It was really good. So I sent it to her, and she never replied
that's
because Claire doesn't like people, and so that's how that is.
Raynor, she doesn't like Bono.
She doesn't like that Bono.
She doesn't like Bono.
Doesn't like the Edge much either.
Let's see what else we got here. So don't eat that soup. I guess is what I'm saying.
Stay away from the unexpected soup. Oh yeah, we were talking about the Japanese man.
That's right. We already moved there. This guy spent $14,000 US. We'll find out what it is in yen in a minute, maybe, to transform himself into a dog. So he has taken his first walk in public, and you need to see this to believe this.
It's crazy. All right. Well, now that sun bear thing is coming back into question.
Yeah, forget the bears. Look at this guy.
Hold on a second.
That's
I gotta
a
watch
dude.
This YouTube video. This is.
Yeah, that's a dude doing dude stuff.
Okay. Well, when I see it walking, it's clearly a dude in a costume.
Yeah, but when it holds still,
Yeah, it's a great costume.
Interacts with other dogs, and lays there. It's pretty convincing. This is really weird.
Oh no, this is so bad.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It makes me feel weird in a lot of ways. Here's
by paying $14,000 to transform into a dog, it really just should be I paid $14,000 for very realistic collie costume.
I mean, yeah.
Transform into a dog.
I don't think the way his back legs are moving, it's not like he had surgery to create dog legs or something.
I want to see him try to hump another dog.
Yeah.
Or hump somebody's leg. Oh my God! All right, that'd be worth the price of admission. Oh, he just like waved his paw. Come on now.
Yeah, he's like waving. It's bullshit.
Come on now. This is.
If you're gonna be a dog and spend that kind of money, be a real dog. You know.
Why is there a lady hiding behind the bench? Do you see?
Yeah, I do. Or a kid or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
There's like a lady hiding behind them. Can we figure out what's going on? Oh, she just now the camera like is focused on her. This is the greatest video ever.
Yeah, this is pretty great. Look how they blurred everyone out.
Yeah.
Japan big on that. It says here, Japanese man named Taco or Toko has transformed himself into a canine after shelling out more than 14 grand for a custom-made collie costume. The creators took 40 days to make the unusual garment. But it has helped the man realize his dream of, quote, becoming an animal. The man has shared several videos on his YouTube channel where he boasts nearly 33,000 subscribers. The footage shows Toko rolling on the floor and playing fetch. The man recently posted a video of himself stepping out in public for the first time. Bystanders were in awe of the human collie. You can see him interacting with people. That's what we're looking at now. For those at home, go search this up.
Is he able to poop out of the dog's butt and then just kind of squat and just...
I hope he goes home to do those things, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this dog to be I don't want him to go that far.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, I want people to be whatever they want to be. If you want to go around and pretend you're a dog, more power to you. But I'm probably not going to have you over for dinner or something, you know?
No, definitely not.
I'm not going to hang out with you. I'm not going to
give you my address. No.
Yeah, it's just too weird. Like, it is kind of, I get, you know, the whole furry thing is impossible not to think of here, but this is extreme.
Yeah.
Most furries are upright.
No,
you know.
No furries that I know are trying to convince you that they are the real version of the thing that they're dressing up as. And usually it's like some sort of anthropomorphic version of a fox or anthropomorphic version of a cat. And it's like, oh, that's really cool. That's really cool looking.
Yeah.
They're not trying to like get in a ginormous walking on all four legs cat costume, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, but all the furries that I've seen, and they go to every first Saturday of the month they go to Fuzzy's Tacos in Old Town Arvada for a meetup.
Yep.
And,
they need a place, man.
Yeah.
May as well get tacos, I say. If you're gonna meet.
Exactly. Yeah, Claire. No, I never saw you. I never saw you yelling at me.
Her caps may have been blocked or something.
Maybe, yeah, because it apparently got rid of your message, because I never saw you respond when I talked about Derry being the Florida of Ireland.
Yeah, we'll just say it one more time. No, you can.
Derry,
I don't think it's
Derry woman yells at people in chat with all caps.
So it's not cutting out swears, Claire. You already got the F word in up above that. So
yeah, you might just have to DM me. You might have to slip into my DMs with your yelling.
Yeah, slide into Brian's DMs. Yeah. Do that. Here's a final story about manatee orgies. Okay.
Oh, a final story about. I don't remember a first story about manatee orgies.
It's a good point. We had a lot of animals today, though. A lot of animal talk.
We did, yeah.
Not on
a lot
purpose.
of fake animals.
Yeah, a lot of fake animals.
Sun bear, fake collie, real insect parts, and insect poop in your unexpected broccoli soup.
It is weird. I did not mean to do that today at all. These just all lined up to be creature stories. It's real weird.
Oops, sorry about that.
Oh,
maybe the insects in the soup are little people dressed as insects.
I mean, you're breaking this conspiracy wide open.
Wide open.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got this one about Florida. And it's a Florida story, so this will be cool.
Oh, perfect. Good. Let's end with Florida.
The Florida cops are telling people stop narking on manatee orgies. It's manatee mating season, and Florida police are here with an important reminder: don't call the cops on these orgies. On July 29th, alongside a video showing a group of roughly a dozen large sea cows lumped atop one another near the shoreline, to the tune of Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On."
Nice.
Yeah, kind of like that. That's a nice touch, don't you think? It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great. That's the best. That is the icing on the cake.
The Phileas or Pinalis, Piney.
I think Pinellas.
Pinellas.
I'm sorry, Pinellas.
Pinellas.
I think.
That sounds right. Though now that you say it that way, that sounds totally right. Pinellas County Sheriff's Office wrote on Facebook asking people to give a little privacy to herds of manatees known for knocking flippers. So instead of boots, I guess, or whatever, right? that what we usually say? You're knocking
flippers.
knocking
boots. Yeah.
So weird.
Here's a question for you Florida people.
Yeah.
Is there a Florida of Florida? Like, is there a part of Florida that's more Florida than the rest of Florida?
Well, that there is, but it's moving around in a presidential run van.
We have Mar-a-Lago as the Florida of Florida, basically.
Yeah, or take the governor. He's running too. They may as well be the moving target of Florida. I don't know. Chris
says Tampa, and I'm inclined to agree with him. Yeah, Tampa. I've been to Tampa, been to the Tribune, been to the St. Pete Times, which is also serves Tampa, and I think I would agree that Tampa is the Florida of Florida.
Never been to Tampa. Is it south? Where is that?
It is on the Gulf Coast, west of Orlando, south and west of Orlando. Somebody might need to correct me. Yeah.
Okay. So Tampa. All right.
Tampa.
Sorry, Buccaneers. What are you going to do?
Oh, Ocala, Florida, too. I've been to Ocala. I've been all over Florida, now I think about it. Jacksonville, Tampa, Destin. Destin was great. Destin is like the Boulder of Florida, or the Austin of Florida, really.
Jay Fantastic says Alabama is the Florida of the South. I like that. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
No offense, Alabama. We love you. All right. No offense.
Oh, yeah. No, we didn't say it.
No. It wasn't us. It was this Jay Fantastic fella in the chat room.
Fantastic. Yeah, exactly.
So let's see. We get calls all the time, said the cops, from citizens when they see this, believing the manatees are in distress. We can assure you they are more than fine, he says.
More than fine.
Yeah. So basically, they're just saying, quit calling us. We're fine. Well, these guys are fine. This is what they do. They mate.
Yeah.
You'd think that people living in Florida would know this because they see it every year.
Yeah.
So maybe this is
I imagine
tourists.
Visitors. It's tourists who oh my God, those manatees all sound like they're howling in pain. Call the cops.
Yeah, those poor creatures. How can we let this happen? Oh, they're just doing it. It sounds like a bunch of Futurama. What's his name?
It sounds like a porno being played at 18 RPM.
Yeah. Why can't I think of his name? What is wrong with me?
Zoidberg?
Zoidberg. Jeez, there's a whole episode where Zoidberg and his people have to mate, and then they all die after. Have you seen that one? It's great.
No.
Great episode. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I like all the Zoidberg-focused episodes. They're all great. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, my sister Wendy's going to slide into our DMs and do a little mystery topic today. All right? So
excellent.
Stay tuned for that. But we got to play some music. Brian's got a little indie in the middle to play. I'm excited about today's because it came from somewhere. Cool.
Came from a listener. By the way, Claire sent me a screenshot of what she typed in the chat, and did not see any of these things. And clearly I can see why every single one of them got blocked.
You know what's weird? Also, she just sent me something that didn't get through. So I sent her that TikTok. She replied, but it didn't ever come to me. And so she sent me a screenshot of that. Claire, you got something going on your end. Something's weird because I didn't get that at all.
Secret police listening to Claire's.
She says
Claire's
so many
Discord not going through. Has to pass through Russia to get to America. They blocked.
She says too much shit about Bono. We love Bono here.
We love Bono. Bono, Russian hero. Bono. All right, Zach, a.k.a. Rebel Scum in the chat, says, "Hey, Brian, I was able to get an MP3 from my friend's band. I was bugging you in chat the other week. They're available on all platforms. And here's a brief write-up about them. I'm going to read it verbatim. Indie rock band De Bouquet. It's spelled just like it sounds. De, D-E, Bouquet. B-O-U. Q-U-E-T.
Sure.
Blends the vibes of classic rock with the sounds of modern pop to create a uniquely Calgary experience. Members Brad Arndt, James Russell, Luke Smith, and Peter McKenzie came together in late 2021, have been hard at work writing, practicing, and recording in Peter and James' shared home studio. The band took a brief pause in fall 2022 to celebrate the birth of Brad's second child after the relaxing, for everyone except Brad, paternity leave. They've been hard back at work releasing the following singles: Feels Good, Impending Storm in early 2023, and the single you're going to hear right now, which is called Birds. These guys are awesome. They're, they are called De Bouquet. Here is their song, Birds.
So no more fan mail. Thank you, and no objects to be signed. Nothing. Anyway, peace and love. Peace and love.
Habba-dabba-dee-ba-dabba-dee-ba-doo. I lick my mother her big butthole. Chemtrails.
Oh, here we go.
That was a listener, by the way. That's a call I got. I don't know who it was or what the frick, but this guy, whoever you are.
That's great.
Love that he ended with chemtrails. Hey, Brian, who was that music by again so we can go get it?
Sure. That music was by Day Bouquet. That's the brand new single. Birds, look for an EP coming from them this year, including Impending Storm, Feels Good, and that single right there.
Very nice.
Yeah. Good
thanks,
stuff.
guys.
Thank you, Rebel Scum.
Yeah.
For hooking me up with that.
And whenever you, if you know some band or whatever, and they give you permission, we're always happy to check out new stuff.
Yeah, totally. We'll totally do it.
Love it.
So Claire points out that if you have live top chat turned on your YouTube chat room, then you're only going to see, like, they're going to filter out messages that might be offensive. If you switch it to live chat, there's like a little drop down. You'll see everything.
So it's funny because the description says, top chat, some messages such as potential spam may not be visible.
Yeah.
Claire, they think you're potential spam.
They think you're potential spam. I guess the things you described in your response to me calling Derry the Florida of Ireland could be construed as boner pills.
Yeah.
The things you were describing.
That's right.
That,
I think
I do
so.
with myself.
Yeah. So change that. It's just a little drop down if you guys are in there. It's easy to switch if you want.
Yeah.
Most of the time she's in here, so that's weird. But the thing where with the Discord, I don't know what happened there. Doesn't make any sense. And it shows,
no, that doesn't explain the Discord. Sure.
and it shows that it was
different.
sent by her. So I don't know.
It's a whole different thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's blame Claire for all things and then move on. We're going to get Wendi in here, my sister, who spent some time in Vegas. We'll have to follow up on that, too. See how that went.
Yeah, I want to hear how that was.
Yeah.
Where'd she stay?
She
all
went-
that stuff. I want to know it all.
It was crazy because she went. It was just so much cheaper to fly to Vegas, rent a van, drive here, do our thing, drive back to Vegas, stay for a couple of days at our timeshare, and then fly out again. It was just cheaper than driving all the way here or flying directly to Salt Lake. It was just
It's kind of crazy.
crazy
Wow.
cheap. So that's what you do. For some reason, I can't. Oh, there she is. All right. Her name was not coming up. She's also showing as offline, which might be a problem, but we'll find out shortly as we add her to this call. And that didn't actually work. Why? Let's try that again. I'll click it again. I'll hit add. There we go. Okay. Well, that's weird. It's not even ringing her. So.
Oh no.
There we go. Now it's ringing her. That was a funky bit of business there.
Funky bit of Cold Medina.
Yeah. No answer yet. We're waiting. Let's see if I got a text just in case.
Oh my God.
she
Once I
says-
turned on live chat, now it's like 8 messages from Claire for every 1 message from anybody else. Is that constant, or is it just because now she's?
Oh my
she's
gosh!
on
Now
a
that you say that,
yeah.
no wonder it thinks
Yeah.
you're a spammer.
No wonder they think she's spam.
Look at that. Like you guys think I wish I could show people at home. It's all Claire now.
Exactly.
Let me see if I go back. So if I go back to live chat, top chat.
Yeah, how much of the non F-bomb messages she sends disappear.
Yeah, I'm getting less.
Less Claire?
So far I'm getting less Claire. I don't know how this works. Wendi says her Discord's on the fritz and it won't load for her. Let's see why. Why would that be?
Oh no.
Well, let's do this. Let's pause that. Okay, I'm going to pause our video for a second.
Pause it.
She's writing back to me now. Worst case is I guess I can call her. But that's weird. Let's see what happens here. I vote Claire Gatt call in. Look, J.K. Grammar, are you just trying to...
Yeah.
Oh, she's
You
restarting.
know what I'm going to do for J.K. Grammar? I'm going to smash one of his buildings right now.
Oh,
Here
do
we
it.
go.
Do it. I feel like I don't get to be as specific. Maybe I haven't added enough people to my
Maybe.
game.
Well, you don't. You do get to... You can change to target a specific person, but just take the random poll. But yeah, I don't know why it's not giving me you.
That is weird, right?
Yeah.
Also, you know what takes too long? is when you first get in the next day, like you've had your fun and you go back the next day.
Yeah.
It gives you like 400 prompts to buy shit. It gives you a little free something, and then it's like so much. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I just there's like a little, if you put your thumb right over the place where the X always comes up, it's just like da-bam, 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 da-bam.
Seeing it.
Bobby says he changed to target people all the time. I think for a while you were targeting me, weren't you, Bobby?
Probably me too.
Because I remember seeing like, Bobby attacked your area a minute ago. Bobby attacked your area a minute ago. Bobby attacked your area.
Yeah, Bobby, you're a bit of a bastard. That's what you are.
That's all right. When I saw you do that, I did the same back to you, and you probably noticed.
Yeah. It basically means I'm never leaving France. I see all these cool places people are. I swear I'm never going to get out of there.
Oh, the coolest. I was thinking Vegas was going to be pretty damn cool. Vegas was boring. The cool one is frickin' Lunar Town. It's the Jetsons, man.
Oh, I do like that. Yeah.
It is awesome, yeah.
And some of the stuff in
Egypt is pretty good.
Yeah, like that's really cool. I like some of the ones that are like a weird indoor like space hangar stuff, and it's just they got a lot of creativity going on in there.
Yeah, they really do.
Oh, I got a gift from Dustin.
Oh, nice.
Who recently shut down one of my landmarks. Let's see what that gift is. Oh, it's 8,000. Wow, you really helped me out, buddy. Thanks for that. Was great of you.
Oh, you can send like a cash gift or a monetary gift?
I guess. I mean, I don't know. They have a gift on their photo during the community chest thing. You know, that little.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Well, yeah. No, that's it's a whole different thing.
It just says, "Here's a gift for you." Oh, I got another one. Taffy guy. If I open this one, active friend bonus. What does that mean?
Oh, that just means you get a bonus choice in your community chest because you have an active.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
because the goal is you want to get up to that 50.
Yeah,
thing.
So just choose another person who's got a gift. You might get an active friend bonus again, and you can go through and get all those people.
This game's got serious Vegas pull the arm vibes. You know,
it really does. I mean, it is. It's
it's weird.
You're rolling dice. It's a random.
I kind of love it though. It's fun.
Pseudo random game. Yeah, I put a picture of what Lunar City looks like.
Oh, nice.
In our discussion.
Oh,
it's
guys,
total Jetsons.
Good news, by the way.
I'll explain the situation to Wendi. Don't worry.
She's here. Hi, Wendi.
Hey, Wendy's here.
What was you just had to reboot or something? What happened?
I guess.
Yeah.
Is it right that a computer should not be restarted for years at a time?
No, it's definitely not right. I think probably
you're also on a different microphone.
Oh yeah, you're on a different mic, which is probably part of your reboot issue. I'm guessing, but or maybe your kids. I don't know. You get Peter in there tapping on keys. Who knows?
Installing some sort of Minecraft cheat.
Yep. Minecraft.cheat is where he went.
Yes, exactly. This is definitely not malware.
Definitely not. Don't worry about us. Hey, it's good to talk to you. How was the latter part of your deal, the Vegas part and all that? Everything go good?
It was good. Yeah, it was so hot. How do people live there when it's 100 degrees at night?
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, but the
rough,
timeshare's nice. The water, I'm guessing the pool is like too hot though, right? Like
yeah, everything felt a little like hot tubby.
Yeah.
My kids said they got in the hot tub and didn't realize it was the hot tub at first. Because it was big, awesome. And they were like,
"You guys should see." When Abe was little, he was just like this skinny little, kind of a weird looking version of me. Kind of. He is a beast now. I don't know. I know he's eating like he's like all protein all the time, and he's working out all the time. But I have never seen such a physical transformation in my life. Last time I saw him was a couple years ago in Park City. He was not this. He is an enormous human being. And now he's going off to college where, I promise you this, every girl on that campus is going to want to be with that boy. That's how it's going to be.
Then he opens his mouth and they run away.
He shoots bees out of his mouth like Candyman. That's why.
It's terrifying. Yeah, it's expensive building a giant human out of protein, just because anyone wants to know what it costs. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he'll eat all your. If you have any meat in the house and you brought it and you meant it for something else, the meat will be gone.
Just disappear.
Yeah. He has literally he has the meat.
For Christmas, we got him a meat box delivery thing.
Like Omaha Steaks or something?
Yeah, kind of, but like it's better stuff. I mean, it's just like less I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's all the same. Anyway, and at his job, someone's like, "What'd you get for Christmas?" He's like, "A meat box." So guess what his nickname is for life?
Meat box.
Meat box.
That's great. It's probably
And
butcher
one
box.
day when he has cardiovascular issues, we'll know why.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My uncle has the theory that you put the word meat with any other word and it's hilarious. And
Yeah.
so far, I have not found
Okay.
a word you put with meat and it's not really funny.
It is a funny.
Meat
It's a
pile.
funny. It's a funny combiner for sure.
it
But
really is.
I'll
Yeah.
bet you guys were doing butcher box. Those guys are good. They have lots of meat.
Yeah, Good Chop, I think, is the one.
Oh,
I
Good
don't know.
Chop,
Whatever.
okay.
They're all the same in the end. And he's moving out, so I'm canceling that baby like immediately.
Yeah, and you really
Okay.
should. I cannot stress this enough for people. If you saw this kid now, you would feel safer because he could take on whatever. He's a massive human being, and he's so freaking ripped. Just shocked me. Anyway, I got used to it though. But all your kids have grown
Yeah,
up.
eventually it wears off, and then you're like, oh, it's still him.
It's still that dopey kid I remember.
I'm telling you though, like it was a pandemic decision. He was just like, you know what? I'm gonna work out hard
Yeah.
forever, and
Yeah.
he's stuck with it, which is, I don't think, an easy thing to do.
No, it's
but
not. Most of us give up. I can tell you
Of
that
course.
with experience.
I
Yeah.
was like, pandemic is when I stopped trying,
Yeah.
and that's when he started trying. So good for him.
I mean, even Arnold Schwarzenegger got a little pudgy, you know? It's like everybody gives up at some point. But anyway, it's cool. And I'm excited for his
Yeah.
college thing and all that. It's like in a week or two or something, right?
No, he doesn't go till September. I don't know if anyone knows this, but there's a sacred ritual the 10 days before Labor Day in the state of Minnesota, and that is the state fair. So
Really?
you do not, nothing starts. No school, not college, nothing starts till the day after Labor Day.
Wow. All right. Did
It's
not know
because
that.
You do not mess. You don't mess with those 10 days because sometimes people make their entire income for the year during those 10 days. Like
Oh my gosh.
they sell whatever and make 10 million bucks.
Oh,
just
one
selling cookies.
other thing I
stuff like
wanted to
that.
ask about. What was the name of that game you brought? I just couldn't remember it this morning.
Oh, it's so fun. Everyone go buy it. It's called Moose Master.
Have you ever heard of this, Brian? Moose Master?
Never heard of it. No.
So
It's
apparently
super
it's a
fun.
monster hit where she's living. I'd never heard of it either.
That's true. I just accidentally bought it, and it is from a local person here, but it is a blast with the group.
It's so
I
good.
made
So
the whole
fun.
family play it.
It's so
Awesome.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's the first time I've played a card game where when we were done, I felt a sense of like almost like I got out of prison or I was liberated from a camp because it's the stuff you have to do. I know it doesn't sound like fun, but it actually is fun. But the stuff it makes you do when you're done, you still kind of feel like, am I supposed to not say this or should my eyes be closed when I say it? Like there's this weird pulling off the Band-Aid moment when you get booted from the game. It's hard to explain. It's really
It's true.
good though.
And what you guys didn't do, what you have to do, you've got to play it twice. Because when
Oh,
you
yeah.
play it twice, the second time is when the winners really shine, and the
Yeah.
people who still struggle to not point when they're told to not point.
Yeah.
I
They will
felt like
lose
that was the
hard.
case. I really wanted to play a second game of Dungeon Murder, but obviously wanted to give more people the chance to play in Vegas. And I felt like, oh, now that I get it, I really want to play it a second time. But
Yeah.
Gotta
Second
play
time's the
twice.
charm. And I played it with your
Yeah.
kids once. We were trying to, there was never any time to do much of this. So game
Yeah.
night was like really brief, but that was fun playing with your boys. I hope they
Yeah,
enjoyed
they
that.
are so excited about it. So
Yeah.
send it. Don't forget. Or
I won't. I won't forget. Yeah, no, you're first on my list after all the people that bought it, but I will send it after that.
After everyone is paid, I get the first freebie.
You get the first freebie. You get the
Nice.
first family pack. All right,
to
well
have
let's dive in today. You told me you wanted to start potentially a series, but a bit of a mystery. I have no idea what you brought today, so
Yeah.
lay it on
Okay.
us. What are we doing?
So, yeah. Okay, couple things. So we've talked about aphantasia before on the show. That's where
Mhm.
Wendi in particular cannot visualize things, and
Yeah.
other people can.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is, as we've talked about it a little bit as a family, every once in a while, usually Peter will go, "Mom, I know you can't see any of this, but let me explain, or let me draw." Like he feels like I need some assistance. I'm like, buddy, it's not like 100%. I can kind of get what you're talking about, like, you know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a weird thing to have. And then there's this other thing that and this is for my own benefit, I would love anyone who doesn't have this experience to please send me an email. Because I don't know the exact numbers of how many people exist with this, but I would assume at least every human I've ever talked to has this experience, and apparently there are people who exist who don't. So let me explain what the experience is, and then please call me if you do not have this experience. And that is hearing, and it may not be fully audible, right? But just that there is an inner voice that sort of talks. Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
And running commentary. And, apparently there are folks who don't experience this. And I really want to meet a real one because I have a hard time. Just like people who are very visual probably don't think I exist, right? So please reach out to me.
Sure.
Okay. But the vast majority of us, at least every single person I've ever met in therapy and everyone I've ever known, has an inner sort of monologue happening. It could be all sorts of versions. A lot of words we use, maybe inner critic. And we've done a couple different things. We did that IFS thing with this and some other things. But I want to try something a little different. Okay. And so this week is not going to be very long because I need to gather data. I need you guys to do some homework before we have stuff to work with. But if we think about this voice, so I'm going to start with this, just an example so you guys can tap into yours. So I want you to try this. I'm going to have us all be quiet for and everyone listening can do this too.
Okay.
Just be quiet for 1 minute. I'm actually going to even set a timer.
Okay.
Hey Siri, set a timer for 1 minute.
Good audio for our podcast listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I can sing, or it'll be 30 seconds. I'll start it at 30 seconds. But anyway, this idea is that you're just going to be quiet.
Okay.
And shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And don't try. Don't try to not think. Don't try to think. Just do nothing.
Yeah.
And then I want the two of you to tell me what happens when we do that. Okay. So 30 seconds starting now. Okay, timer's up. All right. Wow. So, tell me
Scott
what
ruined
happened.
it by laughing.
All I could do, I'll admit it right now, because I'll just tell you my answer. All I could do was think about how I'm providing 30 seconds of dead air on a podcast. That's all I could think about. That's all my head would do.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I was noticing my breathing, and then I started thinking, I should mention that I'm noticing I shouldn't be thinking. Dang it. Oh no, I'm thinking about thinking and not thinking. Damn it, I can't stop thinking. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
It's like telling somebody, don't think of a white horse. And they immediately, the first thing they do is think of a white horse. That's how you keep from throwing up, by the way, for those of you who need help trying not to throw up.
Is that true? You think of a white horse?
Or you have to go to the bathroom really bad or something. You tell yourself, don't think of a white horse. And all you can do is think of a white horse.
That's
and
great.
It takes your mind off having to pee.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going to pee my pants. I'm going to pee my pants. The story in there directs you towards peeing your pants as opposed to, white horse.
White horse. Darn it, I thought of a white horse. And you forget all about it.
Okay. Wow. All right. So thank you for doing that. I was at one point, I thought, this is long. 30 seconds is really long.
It does. It seemed a lot longer than...
Yeah. It's crazy, right? Okay, so each one of us had a narrator working in there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Scott, your narrator was feeling responsible.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we could do a survey with everybody live or something. It'd be interesting. How many people thought, wow, Scott's really brave for having 30 seconds of dead air on a podcast? How many people had the same thoughts as you?
Probably a number of people,
and then
yeah.
Probably maybe one person who does.
Yeah, I was going to say a really small number, this would be a really good time for me to quit.
Yeah.
And I'm done. I had the thought, what if someone just is speeding through trying to get to my section, which I know happens sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And it's just silent.
Yeah, right. Oh no, did I go too far? Did I go to the end of the show? What happened?
It's broken. Okay. All right. So I had 2 or 3 thoughts. Brian, your thought was the sort of circus version of things where it's like a thought and then oh no, and then
Yeah,
I'm dropping.
It was
Yeah.
before all that. I was like, oh wow, I'm really paying attention to my breathing. And then when you start paying attention to your breathing, you breathe weird. And then I started thinking about all that, and then thinking about how I shouldn't be thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my first question.
Yeah.
Who was talking?
In your head,
like in
your
our
head?
heads.
Like, what voice did you hear, Brian? That was
Yeah, who
Patrick
was it?
Warburton. No, it was me. It was myself talking.
Okay, but then who heard that voice talking?
There's another version of me. It was like it was Michael Keaton multiplicity in there.
Okay. So there's the true Brian who's listening and observing.
And then there's kind of the boss Brian of all the Brians.
The boss Brian, the talky Brian, the one that's directing every
maybe
meeting.
it's maybe more like Jane in Doom Patrol for those people who watch Doom Patrol. There's all the
that's it.
different
She
Janes.
had a lot of personalities. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have
Okay.
that many, but yeah.
So if we think about that, so I want everyone to try to flush down the toilet any preconceived notions you have about how this works. Because there's a lot of different explanations. I'm not saying mine is the right way, but I want us to go on a journey together if we could.
Okay.
And try to see it as maybe this, that it's your roommate. And your roommate in your head. Just one for now.
Okay.
And that roommate talks when you're quiet. And some people listening are going to say, oh, this roommate never shuts up. And so the only way to get it to stop is by distracting myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the second, the pause between two Netflix shows is where the roommate starts screaming at me, right?
Yeah.
But as long as I can't hear it, it's great, right?
Right.
So
You might also like.
Yeah, exactly.
You might also like.
hurry, next show,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So the distraction comes, serves to quiet maybe that roommate. Okay. Now, just for a moment, I want to ask: is this roommate right? The things they're saying, or helpful, or what's the roommate? Are you a fan? Would you want to go out to dinner with this roommate?
I mean,
Yeah, I think so, because I think that roommate keeps me in check. I think that roommate is like isn't there to sabotage me and more like just to kind of keep me on track kind of thing.
Okay. And so, Brian, I think we've established through time and experience that your inner world isn't very dangerous.
Yeah, no, it's like it's all bubble wrap in there.
It's
Really.
real nice. And the principle is the same, that it's protective, but yours doesn't have to scream at you or tell you you're fat and ugly and you shouldn't go outside in order to protect you. Whereas maybe someone else's roommate is saying, how dare you walk outside looking like that?
Yeah.
And so everyone's going to have a different kind of roommate, but everyone's got some kind of roommate. So let me ask you another question. When you go outside, here's a way to think about it.
Okay.
When you go outside and it's cold, oh, wouldn't that be nice right now? Honestly.
Oh, really would, yeah.
So just imagine
Just
going
cool.
outside.
Just cooler would be nice. Yeah.
Just cooler. All right. So imagine you go outside and it's cold, like pretty cold.
Yeah.
And you say in your head, or the roommate says, or even you say outside of you, what do you say? You just quiet when you go outside and it's suddenly really cold?
I probably get do you need a hat? Like, do you need a warmer jacket? Like that's probably what my inner roommate is saying.
Yeah, right.
Again, it is probably I'm looking out for you. It's probably,
It's like, how do I help you with this, right? Okay.
Yeah,
but think about it for a second. Is there any necessity of saying, because most people go outside and they say it's cold. They'll say it out loud if someone's with them. They'll say it maybe internally.
Tina says it nonstop. Like we'll go, oh, it's chilly. No, it's not.
Gotta say it.
She's always
now here's a
saying
question.
yes. Yeah.
Why? And not to a partner, but like within yourself. Why is saying the word it's cold? Why does that have to happen? Why does it happen?
I mean, I assume it's a protection thing, right? Like you will catch cold or die, or whatever our primal survival instinct is. That voice is there to assist that, I would assume.
And it also engages you in a bit of a conversation. So Brian, you kind of alluded to this. So let's say the inner mind says it's cold, you have a response, which is, okay, we're almost home. Like just a few minutes, we'll be fine. Or I'll go get a hat. Oh, I should get a hat. Right? So you start the conversation between you and the roommate, in essence, is supposed to help you make decisions so you don't die. Right? And so from a fundamental place of like temperature versus, did you send the check into the insurance company or whatever the other thing might be, these reminders, the roommate full of reminders and warnings and have you thought this through, or you wake up in the night and it reminds you of all the things that you haven't spent the time in the day to think through. That's sort of the purpose. But it also, if you think about it, it's completely unnecessary to tell us we're cold. We know we're cold.
Right.
Yeah.
But the whole point, in essence, and so this is what the foundation I want to create, and then I'm going to have everyone do something with this, is that it's essentially to give us, what is the word? Sorry, the word just left my mind.
Give us
control. Sorry.
control.
I was like, there's a main word I want to talk about, and it left my brain. See, the roommate is sabotaging me for some reason right now. Okay, sorry, control. So if you think about the world as being totally out of control, and the more we feel that, so just even take the last couple of years when crazy stuff has happened, and as adults, you're like, whoa, this has never happened before. Like the newness and wait a minute, I thought democracy meant something else, or, whatever, however it is thrown you or shook you or whatever it might be, that it's like glimpsing how out of control things really are.
I don't
and
know
our
why
brain
that
will
played.
do
Sorry.
whatever it takes to help us feel like we are in control in an out of control situation.
Right.
So the example is, you can't control cold. You step outside, it's cold. Your brain has this mechanism, which is the roommate, to say, hey, yo, it's cold. And then now we are in dialogue with the roommate. We are now going to interact in the world in a way that makes us a little bit safer. Right. So that's like a really benign, lovely version of this. But I'm gonna jump to something we talked about not too long ago, Scott. When you're standing in front of a mirror, tell me what your roommate's telling you when you're looking in the mirror.
You freaking gross.
Yeah.
You need to get back on that treadmill, and also, hey, why is your beard crooked? And also, you're in your 50s. Why is there a zit? Where that zit come?
By the way, notice you trimmed your beard. It looks really good.
Oh yeah, I did. I look a little like a thumb, but I felt like I needed.
Is Brian's inner roommate to join Scott's brain.
Right.
That's what
would you
we
like
need.
to borrow? Would you like to borrow my roommate for a little bit?
Yeah.
He's so nice.
Yeah,
He could go on a vacation to Salt Lake City for a while. I don't know. I won't get anything done, but he could go hang out with you for a
my
while.
roommate's
It might
a
just
jerk.
be silent.
Yeah.
In there.
My roommate's
Anyway.
just kind of always been a little bit of a jerk to me.
Okay. So if we think about that, and again, keep that context of protection, right? It's going to protect you from what? Why telling you your beard's weird and you need to get on the treadmill? What is it trying to protect you from?
The slow but steady passage of time. No,
Sure.
I don't know. Probably.
Well, a thing you can't
I would
control.
believe that for sure.
Yeah.
100% I believe
A
that.
thing. You know
thing-
what?
a
It
thing
is
you
right.
can't
You're
control.
right, Wendy. It's a thing I can't control. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's like.
So you
yeah.
can't control the opinions of others.
Yeah.
You cannot stop the female gaze that is judging you at all times.
Right.
Which, of course.
I like the female gaze. All the gays. All the gays
Yeah,
are fine.
that's the problem.
Oh, you mean a different kind of? You mean Z?
Gay, G-A-Y, J-Z-Y.
Jay-Z.
Z-E. Oh my gosh, I got some-
JZY. son.
Jay-Z, yes.
Jay-Z. But that idea of like you're being judged, you're being monitored, you're being, whatever.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, and Mom doesn't listen to this show, does she?
No, as far as I know, I don't think John
okay.
would know how to get it on for her. So there you
Probably
go.
true. Okay,
Yeah.
but I noticed on this trip, a couple things came out of her mouth that I have enough space from her. I don't sort of see this happen very often. And when you're in the soup of something, you maybe don't notice. But Mom did this thing that just made me laugh and also was like, oh yeah, this explains maybe why any of us might be worried about what other people think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because humans are worried about what other people think. That's part of survival.
Sure.
But then you get your special flavor from whatever family you were raised in, right? So a family that's very intellectually, rigorous and values that, they're going to be judging you based on your brain, and someone else how you look or what you contribute. So everyone's got their own flavor that has been passed down for generations for lots of reasons, and you're just a recipient, unfortunately. Anyway, But she said we were getting ready to go to the beach, and she goes, "My legs are so white. I need to." And so she had some like self-tanning lotion she was putting on.
Really?
I was like, "Woman, you are 85." And I get that you still feel 20 inside or that thing, but this is like, who is going to look at your legs and go, "Wow, you're so white"?
Nobody.
Who are we talking about? And it's because we're not talking about anyone. We're talking about the inner roommate who has for her entire life wanted to make sure no one ever thought she had white legs.
Yeah.
Because that's going to protect her from something she has no control over, which
Right.
is what people think is attractive, what makes you valuable, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes when you get enough space from someone, you can start to hear things. And when you're older, maybe you say them out loud more than you kept them in at other times. So it was just fascinating. So I'm thinking, okay, Scott, you look in a mirror and you've got a roommate that's like, how do I protect you from how you look? Raised by an 85-year-old who's still worried about how tan her legs are.
Yep.
I mean, I'd say this all to her face, everyone. Don't you worry.
Yeah,
Just
it's
like
not.
she
This
doesn't
isn't.
talk to
Yeah,
me all
none
the
of
time.
this is. Wendy doesn't have a problem talking to her like that.
No, but it. And one time she did tell me she doesn't compare herself to people her age. She compares herself to people in their 20s.
Yeah.
Now, that's wild when you look at it from the outside. But what is it that we're all doing that is a roommate-driven behavior? So it could be, and we use words like inner critic or, that type of thing. And so we can go all the way to the extreme of some self-harm thinking or suicidal thinking or different things where that inner roommate is very persuasive, very loud, very sure that it's going to save you by belittling you, etc. So, for example, if you had a very sort of abusive parent who, told you did all sorts of things wrong, this inner voice is going to protect you from making those same mistakes, and it's going to sort of double down and control things that way. Okay, so I want everyone to think about this in terms of everyone's got different places here, and instead of sort of going outwards and like, how do we deal with this on the outside, we're going to talk for the next couple of weeks. I decided to make it a series because that sounds fun.
Yeah.
About how you work with your inner world a little differently. Because this inner roommate, I mean, truly, most people, I would say, except for Ryan here, maybe, and me, my inner roommate's pretty nice. I would not want to sit and watch a movie with this person if they were talking the way they talk all the time, or wouldn't invite them to meet anyone, because it's harsh or because it's,
Yeah, this is weird because I actually avoid the kind of people that would be that judgmental. I don't
100%.
like being around anyway. And what's weird is I kind of am in that stage where I don't care what anyone thinks. So it's weird that I care so much about that stupid second voice in my head.
The reason is it's been there so long, it's so familiar, and you both did this at the very beginning. You identify it as yourself.
Yeah.
You're not identifying it as the roommate. And that's what we're going to work on a little bit, is how to get a little more space between you and the roommate, see it for what it is, and work on some things there. So I need some data. I need people to have their own data here. So we got a little 30-second snippet. And this may be too deep. And someone's like, listen, I come here for the laughs. I don't come here for deep inner work.
Well, if they're coming to Thursdays, they know what they're getting. They're all right.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay, fine. But I'm warning you. This might get hairy.
All right.
Just my disclaimer. So we're going to do this. I just want people to get, even if it's one day, you don't have to do it this for the next 7 days. If you can do it more days than one, awesome. If not, doesn't matter. But try for just one day to pay attention to what the roommate says. So you could do this where you write it down. You can maybe do another 30 seconds of quiet and just listen, and then write it down or speak it out loud, like on your phone, and record it. Some way to gather a little bit of information about your roommate.
Okay. Vet your roommate.
Vet your roommate. Just, you're listening. Because here's the thing. Who am I talking about?
I mean,
who is listening and who is talking? And that's what most people don't have a good grasp on. They just think it's me and me and me and me.
Yeah.
And the way we sort of will speak about it is we'll say, a part of me wants to go to the movies. A part of me wants to stay home and watch something at home.
Yeah.
Right? So who are you talking about? Who's which and the what now?
Right.
And so lots of ways we kind of manage this as we live our normal lives. But this is going to be a little funky for people maybe if they've never done this, is think of it as you're almost like taking dictation or writing down the notes of what this other person is saying. It's like if you had a guest and they followed you around and you had to write down the things they were saying all day. It would be weird.
Yeah.
But it's the same idea. You're just doing it internally. So maybe the best form for most people is to set a timer for 5 minutes. And if you are not a regular meditator, this might kill you. Just know. Where you are just paying attention to what happens in those 5 minutes. What are the thoughts? Where does it take you?
Yeah.
Just stare off at work and notice the millions of different things you thought about. You know, it's a pretty wild ride in there sometimes. And then think of the thinking as the voice of the roommate, right?
Okay.
So does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it totally does.
Okay.
Let me ask you this though. Is it possible some of us will have our roommate will have an old college friend who does a lot of weed and crashes on the couch? You know what I mean? Like other voices in there that aren't the roommate proper, but like he brought a girl over or, whatever. I don't know. Trying to keep the scenario the same, but that can happen too.
Very possible.
Yeah.
And that's actually like when I work with people, we get a little more dissecting and find out which parts are which.
Yeah.
Because we have angry parts or we have whatever. But this is kind of, think of this as a beginning step of understanding that you are not that story. You are not the thought. You are not the bully. You are not whatever part of you is currently talking.
Yeah.
And that's why I recommend doing like a very neutral sitting around kind of version of this too, where you are just quiet. And most people immediately the roommate will say, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. So you already know why, just like it's cold, right? You know it's cold. You don't need to say, oh, it's cold. You know it's cold. You know why you're doing this because Wendi told you. And then when you're quiet, the roommate will say, why are we doing this? What is this even for?
Yeah.
Oh, I got so many things to do. And it will just start talking.
Yeah.
So just note it, like note what it says. So maybe you guys have heard this phrase before of like the stories we tell ourselves. It's a very common way to like articulate this idea. So for example, someone doesn't call you for a half hour later than they said they would.
Yeah.
During that half hour, what are you thinking? Well, a part
are
of
they
you
blowing me off? Do they not want to talk to me? Yeah, right.
That's the roommate. And then tell me this, Brian, how many times is the roommate right?
Oh, but never. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned never to assume malicious intent when none is presented. There's like a phrase or something that goes through my head. I think it's something that my roommate always says is never assume malicious intent when none has been presented or something like that
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
And so
I like it because
yeah.
we have the roommate suddenly panicking that they don't like you or maybe they have something better to do.
Mm-hmm. And then instantly self-correcting.
And here's the crazy thing. We will always believe the roommate.
Oh, yeah.
We go, oh my gosh, maybe they hate me. Then they call and like, oh my gosh, my tire popped. I was crazy. This story's crazy. And suddenly you're like, yep, it's all good. And it's because the roommate was wrong, but no one ever goes, hey, roommate, let's hold you accountable for that lie you were telling. It's just the roommate trying to prevent something bad that it has no control over.
Yeah.
And so this need for control, the roommate has a very strong need for you to get some control. So it will tell a story. Hey, it's cold, get a jacket. That's control in an uncontrollable environment. Someone doesn't call you back, you cannot control that. So it's going to tell a story to help you manage that uncontrollability. Now, some level of this we're all functioning fine with. There is extreme levels that are absolutely devastating to a person and will create inability to function in life. And so we're on a range here. So everyone be very kind to yourself as you're playing around with this.
Yeah.
And if it is too scary to sit with that voice, then we really need to talk to a professional to help you with that.
Yeah.
Or if that voice is telling you things that you absolutely don't want to do and you don't want to stop or whatever, there is absolute help for this.
Yeah.
This is a little more lightweight versions, and you may realize a couple things, but just know that definitely is the caveat here. So, okay, so we just need your data set. So everyone take a few minutes, maybe more this next week, and bring it to class.
Okay.
And we're gonna work on what we do next once we have heard how the roommate talks. So for example, Scott, you telling us what your roommate says when you are looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
Is you just sort of reflexively saying whatever that is right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little different when you go stand in front of the mirror with a notepad and just listen.
Yeah.
And you may find sometimes roommates get a little shy, like, oh crap, you're listening.
Right.
And sometimes they'll just go, and what we want is just to have a little more observer in the driver's seat here, taking notes, paying attention, instead of just running off with the roommate story, because as many of you will find, the roommate is 99.9% wrong all the time.
Yeah.
100% of the time. And it's because, and that's why it course corrects. Well, oh, that's not what it was. Okay, it's something else. And now it's on board with the new thing because it just wants you safe and just needs to warn you that the world's not controllable. So it's trying to help you with that. So, and then we'll get to where this goes.
My stupid brain is like, all I can think about is he paying the rent on time? Is he doing his half of the rent on time? Like all the stereotypes, they're flooding my brain, even though they have really no bearing here. It's like, did he leave his socks where he said he wasn't going to anymore? Did he eat my yogurt? Right. Like,
I had my name on my yogurt and he still ate it. Dang it.
Yeah. The cable bill's not going to pay itself, dude. You got to pay half if you're going to watch it. This kind of stuff. I don't know why that's flooding my head.
What happens if I say the inner critic?
That might work better for me, just from a not getting distracted standpoint, because that is what my brain does. It goes into these like stupid, funky kind of creative zones of like, oh, okay, if it was a roommate, then that means like I just can't do it. So maybe inner critic makes more sense. But then I just picture Roger Ebert sitting there with a big old grin on his face. I don't know. Maybe that's
which is fine. That's actually
I
helpful.
give Scott's brain 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up for your shower.
And that is why aphantasia actually makes some of this both easier and harder. Is I don't picture anything. And many of you will have pictures, right? Mm-hmm. This is why when we look at sort of creativity, it's, it's mind-wandering, new ideas popping in, like all sorts of cool stuff. Right. Yeah. And that can be visual, right? So it's like a double-edged sword a little bit here. That also means the scariest thought in the world will pop up and make you think your whole family's dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Mm-hmm. So it's maybe yours is actually the movie maker, not the critic. I don't know. So everyone's going to have a little slightly different take on this. So if people could do this and then maybe write in with a couple of framings, like, just maybe a quick sentence or two about like what did your roommate say when you were quiet, and then what do you picture? Is it Roger Ebert, Robert
Derber? Yeah.
Don't use that against me. Okay,
all right, I won't.
That guy.
Yeah.
Or is it like a happy, nice guy like Ryan's roommate who always does the dishes? Just pay attention. There are no wrong answers. Everyone's going to have an individual thing here.
Yeah.
If 100 of you write back in, oh, it's my mom. Okay, then that's a thing.
Yeah,
or,
we'll learn something there.
That's my dad.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking of which, all right, so this is your homework, everybody. Everyone understand it? Go do this. Okay, we're going to do it. You guys do it. We'll all come back next week for part 2 in the series.
What did our roommates say this week?
But that reminds me, you were talking about mothers or who was in your head or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you call John stepdad at all in any context? No. I don't either. So what do we? Everyone gives me cheese about this. Not everyone, but because he had no hand in raising us, he married mom when I was in my 30s. You know, like what are we supposed to do there? Is it fine just John? You know, John and mom.
Hey, sorry, there's a lawnmower. Hope you hear me.
Yeah, I can totally hear the lawnmower.
I've been hearing it. Yeah.
It's my child, so I'm really happy
good.
it's happening.
Yeah, don't stop him.
Oh yeah, don't discourage this. This is good.
It's also annoying.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, not at 11. Okay, so he does it at 11. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, I call him Mom's husband, John.
Yep, same.
Mom's husband, John.
Same. People think I'm weird for
And
doing it.
I actually have a kind of a recoiling feeling when someone's like, "Oh, where do your parents live?" I'm like, "No, my mom and her husband, John."
Yeah.
Right. Well.
Yeah. I don't know why.
And it's because it just doesn't fit. I think.
Yeah.
I think
he never
raised
parented you, so you can't really call him a parent.
Yeah.
All right. I don't feel bad.
Guess what? You get to do whatever you want.
Yeah, I do get to. That's right. Me and my roommate can do whatever we want in our apartment.
Nobody loves you except your roommate. So.
Excellent. We'll follow up next week, assuming the stupid jury duty doesn't happen the way it's supposed to.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. Please
Oh,
tell him to
don't
send
be
me a letter.
jealous.
I want to do it so bad.
Some weird domestic suit or something. It's not like a real trial. I don't know. I shouldn't say it's not a real trial. It is a real trial, but it's not criminal. And I kind of want a criminal one. You know, I want to go in there and find out where the body is, and show me some gnarly.
I want to be sequestered in a hotel for months. That's what I want to do.
I wouldn't mind that if somehow bills got paid with me being in that hotel, but that ain't gonna happen. Anyway, we'll let you know. But I'm looking forward to part 2 with great anticipation, Wendi.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Keep track of your roommate. Take notes. Send us a few that we can work with, and then you two, please do it as well.
Yep. And enjoy your freshly shorn lawn. All right.
Yes.
See ya.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Oh, I love the term shorn. I don't use that enough.
I do too. Yeah.
Shorn.
Plus that smell of freshly cut grass.
Oh, Brian, that's one of life's great little deals. You know.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
It's a nice smelly lawn when you're done.
Mm-hmm.
That is it for us and for today's show. Thank you all so much for watching, listening, and hanging out in any way that you can. We really appreciate it. Quick reminder. Okay, so a few schedule-y things, little PSA. Yesterday, lightning sent the power and the internet and everything to crap.
Great.
So we had it was right as we were starting Play Retro that this all went down. So we bumped Play Retro to tonight at 3:30. And you might say, well, isn't tonight's Core? Well, normally Core is on Thursdays. But because Baldur's Gate 3 came out today, we all want a little playtime with it before we can talk about it. So we've moved that to Friday night. So Friday night Core, 5 p.m. normal time. Tonight, Play Retro, 3:30 Mountain Time. And then everything else should be the same. We're going to do Film Sack. We got a couch party tomorrow. We don't know what we're doing yet, but we'll let you know. Oh, no, we do. I keep forgetting. She-Hulk is what we're doing.
You're doing She-Hulk.
So all of that's good. Brian's got Cover Reel today at 1, as we mentioned earlier. Like all the other normal things, we're just doing a little switcheroo with Play Retro and Core. That's all. All right? Film Sack this weekend. Mystery Men. Little Paul Rubens, you know. Mm-hmm. And apparently you told me yesterday Doug Jones makes an appearance.
Doug Jones and CeeLo Green.
Oh, my gosh, dude. I don't remember that at all.
And Michael Bay.
What? The Michael, the director as an actor?
Yes.
What the heck?
Yes.
Okay.
Armageddon's own Michael Bay. Yeah, wait till I'd forgotten about all this, and I think my earlier remembrance of the level of this. Well, I'm not going to say a word.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hold it for
you gotta
Saturday.
wait. You got to wait until we record Film Sack to find out what Brian thought of it.
I like Wes Studi. He's in it. He's cool.
He's great.
Anyway, all that.
Love everybody that's in this.
Yeah, they're all great. So we'll do that this weekend. Watch for that over there, filmsack.com, for all the details. And just keep an eye on our socials and stuff. Brian and I are both on Threads, by the way. Coverville and Actual Scott are our names.
Actual Scott.
Yeah, you can still follow us on x.com, I guess.
Yeah, I do all my posting. I reply to people on Twitter, But the only thing I post over there is when Streamlabs automatically posts that I'm doing a show. It does it on Twitter because there's not a Threads thing yet. I'm sorry, X. But yeah.
I'm posting it on X. Yeah, same. I'm doing a lot more interacting with people, and not just plain posting on Threads. I think Threads, since they added the follower tab, it's improved a lot. They need a desktop app bad, or at least web or something. Like, I don't know what the frick they're doing with not having a way to do it on a desktop, but it's really annoying.
Cool. Oh, looks like Red Fraggle's doing a pottery stream at 4:30 Eastern tonight. So,
nice.
So basically, Coverville, then pottery. If you're into that, little snap, then a little pottery, and then wrestling. It looks like is right after that.
Yeah,
Frog Pants wrestling.
Yeah, there may be some. Oh yeah, there may be some of that tonight. I don't know. Thursday night?
John's still doing that. It's hilarious.
He does it on Wednesdays usually, but maybe he's got something planned. I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
You and I are wrapped up in some crazy.
6:30 Eastern. Okay, 4:30 Mountain Time. The only time is on the matters.
Oh, then that's about right after Play Retro tonight. So perfect. Cool. You and I are controversial right now in the frog wrestling stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, everyone hates me because I'm kind of a dick in the league. And then you lost some major bout with somebody. I can't remember what it was. The VOD's all up. We could go check it. But Brian currently embroiled in a bit of a weird loss or something. The women's league's all full blown now. We got Kim in there and other people. I think Kim right now is dominating, which probably means people are going to hate her soon. In the world of frog wrestling.
Hilarious. I love it. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously, yes.
Yeah, it's a very self-contained, dramatic place to live. Anyway, that'll do it for us. Big thanks, everybody, for supporting us on Patreon. If you haven't yet, consider it today, patreon.com/TMS. It's the 3rd of the month. Perfect time to hop in and get your no-commercial feed of the show, your pre-show content every day, the She-Hulk couch parties on the weekend, art in the mail, other monthly benefits you can only get by joining today at patreon.com/TMS. Everything else can be found at frogpants.com/TMS. And now Brian will play us a song to take us out of here. Brian, what'd you bring?
Yes, Jeff H. wrote in and said for his birthday, which was on the 30th, so Monday.
Yep, that would have been 30th. 31st was Monday, so Sunday.
31st, so Sunday. I would love to hear one of the best cover songs ever. His pick is Manfred Mann's cover of Bruce Springsteen's song "For You." I agree, this is a great song, and this was one of those that I heard so much from Manfred Mann that I didn't realize it was a cover of Springsteen. So for me, it's so fully entrenched in Manfred Mann. Springsteen's version is great too, but yeah, Manfred Mann and the lyrics to this thing are fantastic. So if you get a chance, really listen to the lyrics as you hear the song. Here's Manfred Mann's cover of Bruce Springsteen's "For You" from the album. Do I even have the album in here? I might. It is. Where is it? It is the best of Manfred Mann's Earth Band. So their greatest hits album is where I got this. Okay, nice. There you go.
That works.
Enjoy.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, we're going to play that. We'll be back Monday, so come on back then. You hear?
Get more at frogpants.com.
Beef meat. I guess that was me. Is that me? Beef meat. Oh, yeah, it is me.
Yeah, it's totally you. Beef meat.
It's from 2012.